Okay, so we're diving deep today into this RR KKR clash coming up Wednesday
Yeah, Wednesday,
in Guwahati,
26th of March.
26th of March.
Yep.
And, we've got some interesting predictions here.
Hmm.
So we want to go beyond just saying, this team's going to win.
Right.
We want to really get into the factors that'll decide it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to use, recent form and the Guwahati pitch.
Of course, the pitch is always a factor.
And then predicted lineups and some key matchups
Yes.
to get a good picture.
Some juicy matchups.
Yeah, and a couple of scenarios even.
No, that's always fun.
So so right off the bat, I mean,
Sure.
both of these teams are coming off of losses.
Yeah, they are. So, and pretty interesting losses, too.
Yeah. What stood out to you about Rajasthan's loss?
Well, they put up a good fight against Sunrisers Hyderabad.
They did.
Samson and Chahal both got half centuries.
Yeah, great batting.
Yeah, batting was strong, but their bowling
Yeah.
gave up a lot of runs.
Like a lot.
286 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
tough.
a lot to chase.
So is it as simple as their bowling attack is just not strong enough?
Well, it might be a bit of an imbalance. They've got this
Yeah.
explosive batting lineup.
Right.
But if the bowlers can't keep the other team under control,
Then it almost doesn't matter.
then it's going to be hard to consistently win games.
Yeah. And KKR's coming off a loss as well.
Yeah, they lost to RCB at Eden Gardens,
Uh-huh.
which, is their home ground.
So you'd think they'd have an advantage there.
Yeah, you would think so. But Rahane got a 50 for them.
Another good batting performance.
Yeah, but RCB chased down their total pretty easily.
Yeah, they did. So it seems like both teams have this similar problem.
Yeah, it's like they've got the batsmen who can score,
Mm-hmm.
but something's not clicking with the rest of their game.
Right. And it makes me wonder if maybe coming into this match,
Yeah.
if we'll see some changes, to their strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams are going to be looking at their bowling
Yeah.
and trying to figure out, how to be more economical.
Right. Or even just, field better.
Yeah. Fielding's huge in T20. You can't give away easy runs.
So let's talk about where this is all happening in Guwahati.
Yeah. The Barsapara Cricket Stadium.
What's the pitch like there?
Well, it's known to be pretty batsman friendly.
Oh, okay.
The average first inning score in IPL matches, there's like 180.
Wow.
And for T20 internationals, it's even higher, like 192.
So we should expect some high scores.
Yeah, I think so. And historically, there's been a slight advantage
Uh,
to the team batting first.
Interesting.
But we've seen some big chases there, too. So,
Yeah, what's the highest they've chased there?
I think it was around a 145.
Okay.
But the highest total is like 199. So,
Wow. Okay, so yeah, we could see a range.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the pitch plays.
Okay, so let's get into these predicted lineups.
Right.
Starting with Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah, so for RR, they've got a pretty strong batting lineup.
Yeah.
Jaiswal, Samson, Parag.
Big names.
Those are some big names. And Samson's going to be keeping wicket, too.
Okay. And Parag's captain.
Yeah, Parag's captain, so he'll have a lot of responsibility there.
And on the bowling side.
Yeah, they might go with Archer and Deekshana.
Okay, and I heard they might use Sharma as their impact player.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good bowler.
Yeah, so remind me again how that works.
So the impact player rule basically lets teams substitute a player
Okay.
during the match to, change things up a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it adds a whole new tactical dimension to the game.
So what about KKR? What are they looking like?
Well, they've got Narine de Kock and Rahane.
Okay.
Koch's keeping wicket for them, and Rahane's leading the team.
All right, and Russell's playing for them, right?
Oh, yeah. Russell's a key player for KKR.
Oh, yeah. He's explosive.
He can really change the game with his batting and his bowling.
And Chakravarthi's their main spinner.
Yeah, he's their go-to guy for spin.
And who are they thinking for their impact player?
They might go with Aurora.
Okay.
He's a good young talent.
All right, so we've got these lineups.
Yeah.
Who are we keeping an eye on in this match?
Well, for RR, Samson's form is going to be crucial.
Right. He did get that 50 in the last match.
Yeah, he's looking good. And if he gets going, he can really set the tone for their innings.
Yeah. And for KKR.
I think Narine's bowling is going to be key.
Yeah.
RR's got a really strong batting lineup.
They do.
So Narine's going to have to bowl economically.
Yeah. If he can keep the runs down, that'll give KKR a chance.
Exactly. They need to restrict RR's scoring.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
The predictions.
Yeah, so we've got a couple scenarios based on who wins the toss.
Right.
So first scenario, Rajasthan wins the toss and chooses to bowl.
Okay, so in that case, the analysts are predicting a power play score.
Uh-huh.
Somewhere between 45 and 55 runs,
Okay.
And they think KKR will end up with a total between 190 and 200.
Okay, so pretty high scoring.
Yeah, but here's the interesting part. They're predicting Rajasthan to win.
Even though they're bowling first.
Yeah, even though they're bowling first.
Okay, what about the second scenario?
All right, so in this one, KKR wins the toss and chooses to bowl first.
Uh-huh.
They're predicting a slightly higher power play score,
Okay.
50 to 60 runs.
Okay.
And they think RR will put up a total between 200 and 210.
Wow, that's a lot of runs.
Yeah, but in this scenario, they're predicting KKR to win.
So even though they're chasing a huge total.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right?
It is.
And it's important to remember that these are just predictions.
Right.
Based on analysis,
Yeah.
anything can happen in a T20 match.
Yeah. So after this deep dive, we've looked at recent performances.
Yeah.
The pitch in Guwahati, the predicted lineups,
Mm-hmm.
key player matchups, the toss.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and it seems like this could be a really high-scoring match.
I think so.
And the toss could be a major factor.
Yeah, it could determine, which team's batsmen can really capitalize on the conditions.
Yeah, right. And that's what I find really interesting is that usually in Guwahati,
Yeah.
batting first is a slight advantage.
Historically, yeah.
But in these predictions, it's the team bowling first that's favored to win.
Yeah. It's a bit of a contradiction.
It is. So,
Yeah.
so what do you think is causing that?
Well, it could be a few things.
Yeah.
Maybe the analysts are seeing something in the recent form of these teams that suggests the chasing team might have an edge.
Okay.
Or maybe it's a strategic thing. Maybe they think the teams are better equipped to chase.
Yeah.
In this particular match, it's hard to say for sure.
Yeah, but it's something to think about.
Definitely something to keep in mind as we watch this match unfold.
All right. Well, that was a really interesting deep dive.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be a fascinating match.
It is.
Can't wait to see what happens.
Me neither.